So another one of my little videos about video games, and this is a game that I've been playing pretty solidly for the past few weeks since it got released on PlayStation 4, Elder Scrolls Online. So character creation, any fans of MMOs will know that character creation can sometimes be the most obsessive part of the game. I still remember back in the days of things like City of Heroes, I would spend hours just creating a character to make the costume look right and everything. I quite like the simple interface, but the lot of versatility that the Elder Scrolls Online game has. You can choose the gender, male or female, as we've already seen. Each type has a different voices that you can choose from, so you can either be high-pitched or warrior gruff or whatever. Then you've got your alliances, your Daggerfall Covenant, etc, etc. This determines what part of the map you start on and what zones you'll be able to quest through. Different races, so Redguard, Imperials, Orcs, Dark Elves, Wood Elves. You know, there's a lot of versatility, and each one of them has different racial skills that will help you, you know, really find the character that you want to play. It may take a few characters. I mean, this is like the 4th character that I've created, and it's the 3rd female that I've created. I've got an obsession with creating female characters. Something to do with, if you're going to spend hours staring at the back end of a character in a video game, it might as well be a nice back end. Saying that, you know, I do have male characters as well. It's just that I'm quite in touch with my feminine side, as long as my feminine side likes to carry a big sword and throw fireballs around. Dragon Knight for the class, or you've got Sorcerer, Nightblade for your stealths and ninja-y kind of things, and Templars. Each of the different classes, again, like the races, etc., will give you different benefits and different skills to open up. So obviously a Nightblade will be, as we can see with the epic armour there, very stealthy, black garb, etc. I've switched her to like just wearing her underwear at the moment. That's because the next stage of the character creation mode, you won't be able to really see much difference on all the options if they're wearing the full gear. So body type, this is to set the basic body type that you want to do. Do you want it to be muscular? Do you want it to be quite a more rounded female? Or do you want it to be a skinny wench? Well, you know, being an orc, I think muscular is the way to start with. You know, they're kind of intimidating. Once you've done that, you go on to the next set of options where you can then break it down even further. So you can choose the height, just that. So making her quite a tall orc. Skin colour, depending on what race you choose, there'll be different options. Obviously, you know, a normal human will not be able to get the same skin tones as an orc will. So I'll cycle through, and she's going to be a dark orc. Body markings. Now, a lot of these body markings you can see on the torso as I'm cycling through them. Bearing in mind, when you're actually playing the game, you'll be wearing armour. I quite like that one. I've got a character with the whole scarred face and like an eye patch over as well. Very intimidating. But the armour will be covering all of these markings on the torso. So it makes you wonder, well, what's the point of it? Well, the point of it is, you know, it's you creating a character, and your body markings will reflect either the personality or what they've been through. And whilst others might not see them on a regular basis, it's nice to know that it's there. Unless, of course, you decide to throw your armour off and run around naked in the game. That's up to you. But you know, I'm going to put all these arm tattoos, even though the leather armour, etc., is just going to cover all this up, because that's what reflects what this character is. Gut size, you can make a bit more chubby, or you can pull it all in. I've pulled it in because I want the muscle definition. Like I said, she's an orcish warrior kind of lass. Waist size, so you can, again, just adding on like a few layers of fat or trimming it all back. I'm going to have it quite a wide waist. I hate skinny waists. Arm size, just to add muscle onto the arms. Hand size doesn't make a huge difference, but it just slightly, you know, it goes from like being really bony to quite smooth, depending on what size you choose. Hip size, so do you want standard hips or childbearing hips, as I believe some people still refer to them stupidly. Posterior dimensions, because the one thing that you want to be able to do is when you put on a new piece of armour, turn around to someone and say, does my bum look big in this? Leg size, again, like with the arms, it's just adding a bit of padding and definition onto it. not a great deal of difference, and most of it will be covered up with armour, but you know, you like to know that what your character looks like. And foot size is just like hand size, that it doesn't make a great deal. Then we switch to head type. The head, you can choose heroic, soft or angular as the basic defaults, but anywhere within the triangle will do merging between the three. Angular being like more like, you know, coming to a point, soft being more friendly, and heroic being more stern. So I'm going to set the standard marker somewhere between heroic and soft, because I want it to look kind and welcoming, but also you don't want to mess with her. You can choose the age, which adds wrinkles and scarrings and blemishes, depending on what race you're with. Any adornments, so as you can see, it's tiaras and roses. I quite like having flowers in the hair for an orc. I think it's great that she's like looking like a warrior orc, but still got this soft, gentle touch. Hairstyle, I could spend hours with hairstyles on games, just finding the right one. But I'm gonna not spend hours because I've not got hours worth of video footage to record it. So we'll have a play around and finally opt on, I think that goes well with the flower, the pigtails. Hair colour, so, well, should I go for like a reddy purpley kind of thing? Or should I go, oh, bright white? That'd be a bit contrasting to the rest of the whole character. Yeah, I think I'll go for like a tinted. Nothing too much. How's that? Yeah, that looks about right. Head markings. Again, like with the body markings, if you're going to be wearing your helmet and not, there's an option in the game to not show the helmet, but if you're showing the helmet, most of this is going to be pointless. But again, it's so that you get the personality of the character you're going to be playing. I'm not saying that you have to talk like them and act like them, but you want the character to reflect something in their look and style about how they're going to be played. So I've gone for these head markings. Then you can change the slope of the forehead, cheekbone size, so you can have really pointed cheekbones, and height. The cheekbones can be right up near the eyes if you wish. The jaw, just to tighten it in to make it more triangular, or pad it out to make it rounded. Chin height. So there's a lot of aspects of the definition of the face that you can really go into, and I love this in an MMO. Any MMOs that give you this much playing around, it means that your character can become whatever you really want it to be. There's nothing worse than an MMO that has like just a basic character generation, and you end up with like 400 people on the same server who look exactly the same because there's only a limited amount of options. Something like this means that there's going to be less chance of other people looking exactly like you. Yeah, there'll still be loads of big butch, like 6'8", hulking warrior males with bald heads and goatee beards. That's because a lot of people don't have originality anywhere within their creativity mode. I like, you know, how many people are going to have like an orc, with a dark orc with maroon hair and a flower in her hair? Not many, I reckon. More final definitions with the face: eye height, eye width, squint. You can change the types of eyebrows. You know, there's a lot that you can do to, you know, if you squint the eyes more, it makes her look a bit more, ooh, I don't like you. But if you make them wide and open like anime characters, then, you know, she's obviously going to get obsessed with tentacled demons at some point. Maybe not. Or maybe so. Nose shape, so you can have a flat nose, you can have a Roman nose, like slightly ski nose where it comes up at the edge. Nose height, the width, length of the nose. There's so much that you can tweak and refine to really make the character look like what you want. I could spend hours, absolute hours, with this kind of character creation system. Even the mouth curve, have it going down for like making her looking like stern, or have it slightly smiling. I thought like a slight smile, not too much, but enough to make you go, yeah, she looks mean, but she looks like she'll be able to crack a joke. And then finally, enter a name. I tend to have about 15 different names that I cycle through on MMOs. You can usually find me playing as characters such as Chev Chelios. Yeah, I love the Crank films. Malgavita, Periglor, Precor, and this one's Prescott, named after my hometown. It sounds a bit sad, but it's actually quite a nice name. And so we get into the game itself.